Tell me, who are you?
Yeah. True. So I'm Frederik Marroquín, and I'm a visual artist, performer, and I do a lot of organizational work for Semmelweisklinik. Yesterday was a great day because I thought, okay, it's just impossible that all of this works out. It was just, okay, I have so many things that I want to do, and usually I try to have it more time between the things. But yesterday everything worked out. Yesterday someone wrote me, "Hey Frederik, someone wants to give away an inflatable ball. I thought about you." And I love those moments, because there are actually a lot of objects that I have that friends gave to me because they think about me, and they have a really good taste. So I almost always say, yes, this is what I need now for the exhibition. Someone told me, "Hey, I just found a board 10 minutes away from here that is not used anymore. Don't you want to take it?" And here we are now in the middle part. So the house is basically, there's 3 towers, which is the middle tower and the tower on the east side and the tower on the west side. And then in total, it's around 3,200 square meters that we use. Yeah, the house and the spaces, because it's such a beautiful space, and I'm working here all the time, and I'm wandering through the different spaces, and it's changing so many times, and it's just because I together with the 11 other people founded the association which runs the house, and this had led to, originally I was so intrigued because just because I work with space and just social interaction so much, and then it just made sense immediately when I saw the different spaces with the different atmosphere. I thought, oh, I definitely want to do something here. I also want to have my studio space here. But at the end, for me, SC, I think this project, or also the Verein, the association, as somehow an artwork in itself, how to bring different people together who really didn't know each other before. And usually when I show what I'm working on to people, then I would do it in the studio. But then it's actually just such a tiny part of what I'm doing, and I really to bring this other perspective of also this organizational work, which is for me also somehow, or got to be also somehow part of my artistic work. And yeah, and we decided to apply with people who really didn't know each other before, but we just met at this open meeting from the house, and then we were also intrigued by the spaces, by the atmosphere. And then we decided to it doesn't make sense to do it as a single person, or as a just as a few people, but really to bring all the people together and make it a space where several groups, collectives and individuals can connect. And then there was a lot of preparation time, writing the concept, defending it in front of the jury, also debating about how should this contract actually look like, what should it include, what should it exclude. And then, yeah, it already started, having this basic infrastructure of the water, of electricity. For example, you see it pretty well actually, and at this door, but also on other doors, we had to rebuild it, because you see it's super fresh. The door is new, and this was okay, we have to install new doors because of some regulations that like a door should open in one direction, so you have to change it. And that's what we did basically. I just, this work is this space is so appealing to me, and I often have it like with my work, that I think, okay, this space is attractive. Like I have it does something to me, and I don't know like which work I'm doing there yet, but it's just there's something there's this resonance of the space with me. And I had this with the whole house, but in particular with with this space. Like the light situation is a bit complicated here because we had to take down the lights due to security reasons, which were installed beforehand. So it's more dark. Yeah, this is basically, I mean, like we worked like really parallel, like the whole collective or people who started the project. But yeah, for me, it's really the moment when I entered this space, I thought, okay, I really want to do something in this building. Like, and this was before the collective, this was before like all of us met, but I just knew, okay, I want to be here. I just see something in this space, yeah. And then now it's it's super fascinating to me because the floor is super fresh, and at the beginning it was like not like that at all. It was like all I don't know, like really with the broken stones and like lots of like broken tiles. And then I, together with some other people, like we took them all out, and now they're here. Like still there's the remnants of the tiles. Yeah, like here there's all those tiles, and it was really, I liked really how it looked, like just like breaking out, like all the tiles was already some sort of installation for me. And I mean, we never like presented it as such. And now it has this like really practical, super neat floor, which is also great. But for me, it's, I think the most fascinating thing is to have also this moments of transition or like transformation, or seeing spaces and objects in different, just in different moments in time, and to be also aware, because it's a temporary space. It's like this like interim use space, and there's this like whole like problematic to it, that there's, okay, yeah, of course we also would like to have something like more stable, or something that we already know that it could be used for many years. But then again, for me, like from an like poetic artistic kind of viewpoint, I think it's also super intriguing to there's just a certain beauty in it. There's a beauty in this like temporality, or like being aware that this is just it in for some months, for some weeks, for some years, and then it will change. And then it's happening all the time that like, okay, now there's like some sofas here laying around, but then at some other point it will completely look different. And this can change like from one day to the other, due to the fact that there are so many different people working here, and that there are so many different ideas. And this is something that I find like really like inspirational and great to see, this kind of multi-usage, or like using in so many different ways, like depending on like which area the people are coming from. the reason why I'm doing it also because I had this feeling, because I'm doing sculpture and performance and installation, and then I really like working collectively, and this, all of that, like together, for me, at least in Vienna, it's super hard. Or I actually don't see like any institution, I don't see any space who really like dedicates their time and their like artistic viewpoint on like truly like transdisciplinary work. For me, it's just not there, like in the form that I find interesting. And I mean, when I'm saying that, I really also speak about very practical things, because for me, I want to, what I enjoy most at the moment is to work also on bigger scales. Like this size of the space, I think it's perfect. Then on the other side, I also worked for the theater, for example, but there's also like other conditions which makes the work that I really want to do quite impossible. Because like with the site specificity, I really enjoy like to work within the space and not like developing something like completely separately from the space and then bringing it somewhere else. And also like in some galleries, like it's not even possible to really like work with the substance of the walls, for example, of the architecture. There are so many limitations, regardless if it's if it's a white cube, if a black box, if it's a theater, if it's fine arts, if like the whole thing, like this whole thing of, I think a lot of artists actually do work transdisciplinary, but the institutions are, at least here, I think, not really ready for that, or they don't have this vision, and they still think in terms of, okay, this artist is a painter, this artist is a video artist. And to me, it just really doesn't make any sense. And this, like co-creating the space, like together with all the people, I think for the first time in Vienna, it feels for me like, yeah, here is actually possible. I mean, but then again, of course, like first it has to be shaped and like also created in a way that I can do what I want. But since I like didn't see like this possibility like here in Vienna, I think it does make a lot of sense like to like create the space that I want for me, but that I also want to share with others, possible. So it's kind of this first step. And now after 1 year has passed and I see that it has evolved so much, it also feels different, or like I can now somehow the time has started where I think about more in this direction of, what can I actually do here? Like, what do I want to do here? Because it might be that we then, have also to leave the space. And I definitely want to make also use of the possibility that I created. I mean, there is also, I mean, this is like one of the 2 big spaces. There is also like currently the Closet Demonstrations exhibition in like the other bigger space, which is, I mean, they prepared like really a long time also for this, and I'm super happy to have them here and looking forward like to, because they just had the vernissage, and I still like want to see like every artwork like in detail. And now we have like, there's about 100 people in the house, and this is just like the people who are really like doing stuff in the house, but then there's also people who just come here and say, hey, I have a project, I want to do it in this space, I want to give a workshop in the movement room, for example. No, what a great thing is, like, really, I have to with the doors, with all this like stuff, because for me, like some time ago, it would have been, I couldn't have imagined to do something like that, or I wouldn't have the skill, or, you know, it's just like not in my head, or I think in, and I know a lot of people who think like, okay, but how should one do it? Because I never did it. And I think this is the, for me also, like the empowering thing about working like this, because you realize like how many things you're actually capable of. Yeah, and also like together with other people and not alone. Yeah. And it's like, okay, completely different atmosphere with the wooden floor and the light like coming from this side, and the other side is like always the side which is a little bit more darker. Then like the beautiful mirrors which we got out of which we got donated basically. And there's also so many things and tools inside the building which people just gave to the project, which I think is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, here this was the old server room. So it had this like double floors with like lots of cables, and now it transformed into the bar. So my performance, that's why I also went to this silk screen printing studio yesterday, because I want to do a performance which with the title I Do What You Want. And it's a performance which I invite the audience, like, or the visitors of the vernissage and the exhibition to give me a score, to give me basically like one instruction what they want me to do. So this should be like encapsulated like in 1 or 2 sentences, and then I will execute it within like the framework of the vernissage, and I will do it I will just like select the notes that the people give to me, and then improvise with their scores. And I will also like invite the participants of the collective to also give me a note. I mean, nobody has to, but I really like love this idea that I get this input also like from the collective. And then I just really wanted to have like some physical thing also in the space, and it's a little bit like how are they called, like Grußkarten, this kind of Christmas cards, for example, that you have. And for me, it's somehow like one of those like a very like exaggerated version of some of this Grußkarten somehow, and to have this kind of combination of use something that in a way for me is very brutal also, or very like this, like I do what you want, which is it's quite an impactful sentence, but then also have a bit of this kind of cheesy quality of the Grußkarte, and to play with that. So I'm looking forward, and I'm looking forward also what the people will dare to do, if they will only think about things which are possible, or if they will also like give me impossible scores, and what to do then, and to be like really somehow to be in their hands but then also like I'm the one who's executing it at the end. I mean, I don't know what will happen. I really think this is something also like I enjoy the most, you know. It's like when I think about it otherwise, it's just like when, you know, like also like the times when I say, okay, like I'm maybe like not doing like the work directly in the studio, I still feel I'm like working on my work or on my projects, even if I'm not, because they're all like these moments. Like it can at any time happen that I like pass by the street and find the surfboard that I need for the next work. It can anytime happen that I like run into a person that gives me this impulse, or that I think like, okay, wow, this is now a beautiful encounter. This is like some quality that I enjoy in a performance. And then also in a performance, it's not that I'm performing like someone else. It's just really me, maybe in different roles or in different variations, but it's still me, and I really want to like share this responsiveness like with other people. Wait. Yeah, maybe we'll go there. It's obvious there's so many possibilities where to go. Yeah, exactly. And I really don't know who's like working with this wood table right now, which is great because, yeah, I don't know. I love this. Yeah, and this is also like one of the brightest rooms actually, and it's really like on the newer side also of the whole house, because I mean, as you could see, like the other side is like more like in need like of renovation, and this side is it like was like from the beginning already in a little bit different condition. Yeah, at the beginning I think that everybody was like, okay, who are those artists who are like suddenly in the old like Semmelweisklinik? But then again, we also had like so many people visiting us who were born here, for example, who had already like this connection because it was a former, how do you say, like a Geburtsklinik? Yeah. And this is like the house 4 of the whole Semmelweisklinik. Yeah, I mean, actually, like this house, the like house 4 is the administrative building. But like the 3 houses which are on like, in this direction, there was like the actual hospital stuff going on. Yeah, and I mean, this is the exhibition of the closet demonstrations in the former kitchen. And I think for me, like particularly the comparison also for the washing kitchen and the kitchen is so interesting because it has this, okay, the one has this more like dark atmosphere, and here it's like it's brighter, it's like more in shape, and it has this like very prominent metal, I don't know how to call them, but here they're super prominent in the space, and I think that's also yeah, something that always like gives me a hint like where to start with my work are actually objects. And since I do, I mean, I do work with sculpture, and I do work with like also lots of found materials and objects, and with the like relationship, like how does an object like also like motivate or inspire a certain movement. So since there are so many wild and weird objects in Semmelweisklinik, this was also something that I thought, okay, it's just great.